Welcome to Maximal Being,
a podcast devoted to ditching fad diets and using real science to get you healthy and feeling great.
I'm Doc Mock, a GI and functional medicine doctor who harnesses the power of gut health to get you achieving your goals.
And I'm Jacky P, a well-informed layman who challenges the experts and asks the questions that you want.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or leave a comment.
And now, on to the show.
What's going on, Maximal Beings? Doc Mock here with MaximalBeing.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. It does help us to get the word out. If you have any questions, you can email us at team@MaximalBeing.com. Enjoy the episode.
Jacky P, we were talking about his new book, Live Longer and Better, and he was giving me kind of like the key message behind it. And, you know, we're so excited. We were also talking about they have new sleep data. You didn't show us the results of your Oura Ring study. I mean, I'm excited to see this. So walk us through this beautiful graph.
All right. So
and explain it to the people that are listening in their cars right now too.
Yeah. So you're looking at a pretty graph. I'll try and explain it. Really, each one of these segments here represent the question, rating your sleep. How easily did you fall asleep? How restless were you? And how on average did you feel the next day? And there's 4 bars in each of those groupings. The first bar is the answers to those questions prior to taking the product. The second bar is the 10 days, and it's for 10 days of data. The second bar, in this case, is red, is 10 days on the product, and then the yellow is 10 days back off the product, and then the green is 10 days back on the product. And what we always see is an improvement in sleep rating, easy to fall asleep, and average how they felt the next day. Always improved when they were on the product, and even restlessness, although this is the inverse. And so this one is potentially a wording problem, right? Where if everything that's positive, you know, there's 3 questions that are positive is good, and 1 question where negative is good, and so maybe that's an artifact of that. And at the same time, I'll be honest, we have a small fraction of people who, if they take the product later in the day, they will share that they can have some problem sleeping. That's not true for me, but I'm also the guy who can drink a cup of coffee and go right to sleep. And so, yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Not this guy. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm a hypermethylator, so we coffee works for us.
So you've got to stop by noon, and we recommend that people tend to recommend that people take it in the morning. But yeah, this is pretty exciting. It's really cool, you know, as a scientist, to see what people are reporting actually manifest in data, and that's I guess I live for that. It's really cool.
Yeah. So this is, in a sense, it's like a crossover design. So the patients are the subjects, patients, however you want to word it, are serving as their own controls. Mm-hmm. And that allows you to kind of extrapolate the data on an individual basis and track that over time. Typically, when you're seeing this in studies, we look at, like longevity curves, and you track those individuals over time from the point at which they cross over from one point in the study to the other. And then we calculate something called the p-value that looks at differences or the statistics, use it between the 2 groups. For this particular study, because it is 12 subjects, it may not be a relevant thing to do, because, your result may be negative, and it may only be negative just because of it's 12 people and not several hundred. But it doesn't mean that it's not a significant result for me when I wear my Oura Ring and when I take my VitalC.
Yeah. Yeah. And originally our goal was to do kind of this survey data, and then use the survey data to drive what Professor Smar was going to look at in the back end data of Oura Ring. And then, like I said, he got busy, and I'm like, let me at least keep this moving forward with the sleep data, because it's really, I think these things are really important and just extremely fascinating to dig into.
Chris, somebody at work asked me if I could do one thing to lengthen my life, what would I do? How would you answer that question? And Jacky, how would you answer that question?
You go first, Chris.
I mean, you're the layman, but you've been on this show for years now, so you have all the knowledge answers. That I have. Yeah.
So I'll start with, I did a longevity summit, interviewed 55 people, and I asked every one of them, give me 2 to 3 habits, mindsets, protocols, let's call them shortcuts, because everybody likes shortcuts for for longevity or a long health span that you would recommend. And 33.3% mentioned sleep, 52% mentioned exercise. And I would actually break exercise into exercise and movement just because of, kind of to address human psychology. And 52%, the same number, mentioned diet, and then 46% mentioned mindset. And my first thought is, because we know how important sleep is, right? Like if you aren't terrified about not getting enough sleep, you need to go buy Dr. Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep, and you need to read that book, and then you will be terrified to sleep. Like I call it the Freddy Krueger of sleep books. It doesn't wake you up though. It scares you to sleep. And so when I saw that 33% of these experts mentioned sleep and then 46% mentioned mindset, my first thought is like, I think they got this wrong. Like sleep is just so very important. And then, your brain starts processing information. You have a couple conversations. I'm like, wait a minute. If you don't have the mindset and you need to change sleep, but you don't have the mindset to make those changes, if you need to exercise more, and we probably all need to, and I'm training 5 to 6 days a week, and I probably should be doing a little bit more. And you don't have the mindset to do it. And if you need to change your nutrition, your diet, whatever that looks like, and you don't have the mindset to do it, it's not going to happen. So I think expanding your mindset is probably the best thing that you can do. And then people listening to this podcast, we almost presuppose that they have the right mindset. And so then the next thing is, I would say is actually movement and exercise.
Interesting. Jacky, you go ahead.
I've got an answer.
Yeah.
So this is gonna sound like a cop-out, but I really, and only because I'll give you the context of this, but I think the number one thing is to listen to your body. But really listen. And the reason why I say this is because Doc Mock sent me a book back in October or December, Outlive, right? And I've been on this podcast forever. I can say 90, or not that much, 70% of the things I read in that book I already knew, right? But seeing it in black and white, I was like, okay, Jacky P, you got to be an adult, big boy here. Like, you should be doing better in a myriad of things. And that book kind of turned something for me. I was like, I want to live to 100. I told Doc Mock this. I want to live forever, and
I'm down.
And I just want to be around, right? I want to hang out with Quinn's grandkids if I can. So basically, I started like really, right as I got on, Chris, you're talking about the sugar thing. I started really paying attention to sugar. I downloaded this Yuka app, right? YUKA. And like, it's ruined my family's lives. I'll tell you this right now. There's no goldfish in the house. There's no all these healthy treats they thought they had. None of it. I'm like, if it's got an additive, if it's got something, it's out the house. But the reason why I say listen was the things that I thought was, oh man, I'm just getting old. My birthday was yesterday. I just turned 37.
Happy birthday!
Like, appreciate it, thank you. So all the things I used to say, man, I'm getting old, or like during the day, back to sleep when I'm like, man, I need a coffee. I wasn't listening to saying, I don't need a coffee. I need to rest better. Right? So listening to those aches, those joints, you don't feel good, you wake up bloated. That's not your natural state. That's your body telling you, hey, I don't like what you're doing to me right now. Figure out what to fix, because I do a pretty good job. I love doing legs. I do leg day every day. Like I exercise, like I love, so like I felt like I was healthy, air quoting, but after I started doing that, and then yesterday, because it was my birthday, I ate like a college kid again, and I didn't drink or anything, but I feel hungover today.
Yeah.
Like I had some cake, I had chips, I went to lunch with my wife, and I feel horrible. I literally do. Like I feel so bloated, like, and then that's what was my default just a couple months ago, and I just got used to it. So now
Man.
that I'm like paying attention, I'm not putting this junk in the house. It's like, oh, and you know, and everyone always says, hey, do you feel old? I was like, actually, I feel how I felt back before I was 30 now, because again, like I wake up, there's no grogginess. I'm not like I just roll over and like let's get after it, you know? So listen to what your body's saying and try to attune to why it's saying those things.
So Jacky P's 22nd year of life is going to be a good one now that he's turned 22, right? Because he looks so youthful.
Yes.
And Chris's 32nd year of life is going to be good. But I'm definitely picking up what both of you guys are putting down. And Chris, I will say that data that you gathered from these experts, you got to put that out there into the universe. You know, you have to publish it, or you know, like in a journal or a newspaper or something, because people want to read that. They want to know, when you cull the data of these experts, what they're saying. The one thing I'll say that I'm surprised that you didn't say is community, or maybe that fits into mindset. And the reason 15%. Okay.
Yeah. So there was one more, I think, and we lumped it under socializing, and that was 15%. And I would argue with you too, that's, I mean, it's almost like a pillar, right? Like you've got to have, and maybe mindset is horizontal, right, as the foundation, because if you don't have the right mindset,
there's a
nothing
relation.
else is changing. And then you do need to focus on sleep, exercise, diet, and community, because you're right, like community is really important.
And that's blue, like we talked about this last time you were here, the blue zone data, right? In each of those blue zone cultures, community is kind of one of the common themes that runs through as those pillars that you so eloquently put. And it's that having that purpose, those people to come and talk about. And on the flip side, we know data of people that live kind of a solo sedentary life, or even during COVID time where mental illness was rampant, there is a relationship between lack of community and shorter lifespan. And so I would put that, you know, up there. And I agree, maybe mindset and community kind of run hand in hand, but that's awesome. I'm with you.
And you mentioned, I ended up doing a presentation, and I was kind of coming off of that longevity summit, and one of the presentations was on blue zones. I, you know, whatever, roll up my sleeves, dig into these blue zones, and Dan Buettner. And then fortunately, there's a Netflix special right now, which is pretty solid. And one of the, and I actually lost my train of thought, but I can jump right over to something. This I thought was amazing from Dan Buettner in that Netflix special, is that he created a blue zone here in the United States. And now I remembered what I was going to say, is that I think purpose is different than socialization, but can be intertwined, right? So if your purpose is to like look after your grandmother and make sure she gets her exercise and, you know, all of that stuff, there's a lot of purpose and community in that. But I think there, you know, that could easily be another pillar, or maybe like if you've got enough purpose, you could just do with less socialization and vice versa. And so maybe we're building some incredible architecture here.
Love it.
But yeah, I think purpose and socialization, and then the fact that he built a blue zone. Okay, you got the testing methodology. His goal was to extend their life by 2 years. It was a survey, and they ended up extending it by 3.1 years. Okay, but like, what does that survey data mean, right? Like, what is, you're just taking, you know, best guesses. By the way, have you guys done any DNA age or biological age tests?
Yeah, I'm 22 according to that.
He literally is 22. Yeah,
that was a couple of years ago. I don't remember the name of it anymore, but I remember it was a telomere based test that I got through a functional medicine doctor.
So on my summit, I interviewed glycan age, right? So they're looking at glycans and, you know, the profile of those. And that's one of the problems with most of these, is it really is an aggregate of data, right? Like, so are you on a normal growth curve, or are you on an abnormal growth curve? Okay, well, I'm not sure. I don't think that's, you know, we used an analogy of a candle, right? I don't think that these biological age tests are telling you how much wax is left, right? I think they're telling you on average, people at your age have this much wax left in the candle, and then you're a little higher, a little lower than that. But So I think these are going to improve, but my glycan age, which looks a lot at inflammation, had me at 21, right? So I'm
Awesome.
like 33 years younger. I don't even,
Believe
do I
it.
want to be, can I drink if I'm younger biologically? Is there going to be a new
That's
ID?
a good question. Yeah.
And then
Never
I
good.
took
Yeah.
my D in age, right? And when I was 51, I took it and it said I was 59. So I'm not really happy about that. A little older. Okay,
Dang.
whatever. We got things to work on.
Yeah.
I took it just before that longevity summit. So at 54, my age came back at 58. So in 3 years, I went back 1 biological year. I'm like, I'll take that.
Let's say, yeah.
That's exciting.
Wow.
And then I don't want to look anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. No, I'm going the right
like
direction. Let's.
yeah, and I think mine was the second one, but I after I got that, I was like, all right, I'm good. Never going to test myself ever again. Like, I'm keep doing what I'm doing.
And part of you is like, do you guys just give us the answer we want so we like your test, or?
Oh yeah.
I know. Right.
Are you a healthcare practitioner searching for a comprehensive solution to streamline your patient referrals and improve collaboration with other practitioners? Look no further than Rupa Health, the ultimate platform for integrative and functional medicine practitioners. As a healthcare practitioner, I've struggled with the traditional referral process for labs. It's time-consuming, inefficient, and often lacks the necessary communication between providers and patients. But ever since I started using Rupa Health, everything has changed. That's right, Rupa Health is revolutionizing the way that practitioners connect and order lab work with their patients. Their advanced platform allows you to effortlessly send and receive patient lab referrals and secure their information, sending them the kits directly. This makes the communication directly with other patients and practitioners easy to take care of. I can't stress enough how much time and energy Rupa Health has saved me. With just a few clicks, I can easily order lab work and track their progress, and then I receive the results directly into my inbox, which I can send to the patients automatically with recommendations. Absolutely, Rupa Health's extensive network of lab testing and curated, integrated, and functional medicine testing allows practitioners to receive the highest quality of care and dedicate their practice to a patient-centered, holistic approach which aligns perfectly with the values of healthcare in a functional medicine practice. Plus, Rupa Health provides you with excellent customer support. Their team is responsive, knowledgeable, and always helps with assistance in billing questions and how kits are shipped to your patients. They are dedicated to helping practitioners like us provide the best possible care for our patients. And if you're a patient listening, it allows you to seamlessly order your lab testing and receive all of the necessary information. Rupa Health has been a game changer for my practice, and as you know, it will be for yours too. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to save on lab testing by heading to labs.rupahealth, that's rupa.com/store/storefront_ V as in victory, G as in grape, X 00400. That's labs.rupahealth.com/store/storefront_ V as in victory, G as in grape, X 0040. I'll see you later, Maximal Beings.
Chris, since you've been on the show, we know your origin story. I highly recommend that the listeners go back to that episode a year ago and listen to Chris's origin story. And he goes through this awesome story about C60. And we talked about those 3 questions at that point in time. But now what we're going to hit you with is our Sham or Graham segment, where we go through some wacky stuff that Jacky P found on the internet.
Yes.
I would hate to see his Instagram page from this.
I'll tell you that the algorithms.
Yeah, you broke the algorithm. I think.
Yeah, they're like, now I just get I've gotten some stuff that are so sham. I'm like, I'm not going to put this because this is just like, we're not going to go through this.
And we actually had, because we published something that was so out there, although we debunked it, I had for the first time, I got edited by YouTube based upon just showing somebody else's crazy stuff. So
Wow.
It's wild what people are able to put out there. But anyway, Jack,
it is impressive. It is impressive.
Yeah, so we're gonna have you weigh in. Jacky P's got something queued up We're
Yep.
going to have you weigh in on your thoughts about whether there is any sort of basis behind this, based upon your, extensive fund of knowledge, and we'll also chime in too.
Yeah.
All
So,
right, hit me.
so
Yeah.
we've got some options here. So we have either something called camphry, which is CAMFREY. I think that's a plant. I don't know. Or we have new brain cell growth, detox tea, or animal protein. Chris, hit me with one. Which one would you want to go to?
Let's do well, one, I think new brain cells. I think there is some study that we can actually grow on neurons. It's not, I don't think it's a prolific thing. That's why it took us so long to even realize it actually happens. That's exciting. But let's do protein. I've been talking about protein. I've been weighing in on protein. I've brushed up on my protein knowledge recently.
I love it. Let's do it. Okay, so let me share my old screen here.
This glass of milk is high in calcium, but it's also high in animal protein. And animal protein is very dirty burning fuel. Only 58% is burnt as fuel. Do you know what that leaves? A 42% waste. And that's a high acid waste. It's a sulfur waste. And so what the body uses is it uses the most alkaline mineral, which is calcium, to negate the sulfur residue. Do you know how much calcium is left for the human body after a person drinks a glass of milk? None. Cows can access that calcium because they've got 5 stomachs. We've only got 1. And the countries in this world that are the highest dairy consumers have the highest incidence of osteoporosis. Where does the elephant get his calcium from for his huge bones? Where does the orangutan? The creatures in this planet with the biggest bones are vegetarians. They get it from grass. I've got some good news. You don't have to eat grass. You can eat broccoli and bok choy and all your dark green leafy.
Was she about to curse?
I was hoping so, but I guess it cut it off.
I've seen her before, and I love how this is happening a lot, right? Where people are coming in, they're debunking theories. I think, like, in the back of my mind, I've been aware that milk ultimately isn't a great source of calcium, like that it doesn't do that well for us. And this is like the first explanation that I've ever heard of why that's true. And obviously calcium is really important. I'm trying to think if I have, I eat a lot of, my focus is on protein from the perspective of how do we avoid sarcopenia, right? How do we avoid the muscle wasting that tends to occur as we age, really starting kind of at 30, dramatically at 30. And in this context, I eat a large amount of protein. Like I walked into my office and told my office mate, I'm full. Like I've had too much turkey and I still have to eat another meal today of turkey, lean turkey. I'm full. And then I augment that with a lot of cruciferous vegetables, and I want to get a lot of fiber. So I think I'm good on calcium because I actually don't drink milk. I put milk in my coffee, which I have heard ruins a lot of the benefits of the actual coffee, that there's enough fats in the milk that they like take up the minerals and some of the good stuff.
The pH,
but I like the flavor. So, but yeah, I think my guess would be she's right. And I, if I were to do a presentation on this, I would have to dig in more and figure it out.
I like where she started. I don't know what her qualifications are, but I like the biochemical basis. But I think an overarching theme, Chris, that we found when we do these shamograms is that it's either a non-expert that's claiming expert things, or an expert that's claiming things that go from a biochemical basis and translate that into something else. So in this case, it was making the jump that because we drink cow's milk, we don't absorb calcium, and because we don't absorb calcium, we have osteoporosis. But it does not. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
I didn't key in on.
Yeah, like osteoporosis is a disease that is not from low calcium intake. It is a multifactorial disease that occurs from genetic factors, underuse, lack of weightlifting exercises,
Yeah.
tobacco use, low body mass index, sedentary lifestyle, low vitamin D from sitting in front of a computer all day and, not being in places without sun. So it's not that linear. And so I think that her beginning was great. I do agree that you can get calcium from many other sources in a great manner. But I think that she's making the argument that, like, be a vegetarian, but she kind of in the middle there made some claims that are not based upon medical science.
I just kind of took I was a little insulted when she goes animal protein, which is a dirty fuel source. I'm like, you lost me. I'm already out. I'm not listening to the rest of this.
Well, there's some benefit to that, right? Because what it ends up being is you can consume extra calories and have more satiation, but your body can't actually utilize those calories. And so they become exothermic. Ends up creating body heat and burning off energy instead of actually incorporating that and turning it into fat. That's my
and also what she didn't state was when you're eating a vegetable-based protein, it's probably more inefficient due to the fact that we are monogastric animals with a relatively low pH, but not as low as some of the other vegetarian animals like rabbits. And so we're not as efficient as extracting a lot of the nutrients out of vegetable sources as herbivores are for that reason. And so humans are meant to be omnivorous. They just are. I will throw that out there. I will debate whoever wants to debate me. I have done that before in an academic environment. Our gastrointestinal system is definitely that of an omnivorous animal. It just is, and that is how we evolved as a species.
All right. So what's the final thing? Yeah. I was going to say, like, so what we're going to do? Are we shaming this, gramming this? I feel like she kind of walks the line.
It's like a graham sandwich with a sham filling.
Yeah. Ooh, the sham graham deluxe. Wow. That's good. That's the first one.
Exactly. Let's do one more. And then I Chris, I don't know if you have time for one more, but we are running over, but let's do one more. And
are you looking for high-quality, evidence-based supplements to support your functional medicine practice? Look no further than FullScript, the leading platform for healthcare practitioners to prescribe and order professional-grade supplements. As a functional medicine and gastroenterology doctor, I trust FullScript to provide me with a wide range of high-quality supplements that meet specific needs of my patients. Their extensive product catalog includes trusted brands, ensuring that I have access to the best options for my patients' health. That's right, FullScript offers a comprehensive selection of supplements, including vitamins, minerals, botanicals, and specialty formulations, all sourced from reputable manufacturers. Plus, their rigorous quality control ensures that you're getting products that meet the highest quality standards of purity and potency. And what I love most about FullScript is the convenience it offers. With their user-friendly online platform, I can easily browse, prescribe, and manage supplement protocols for my patients. It saves me valuable time and streamlines the ordering process. Absolutely, FullScript makes it easy to create customized protocols for your patients and track their progress. Plus, they handle all the logistics from inventory management to shipping, so you can focus on what matters most, providing excellent care to your patients. So if you're ready to take your functional medicine practice or wellness to the next level, visit us.fullscript.com/welcome/maximalbeing. That's us.fullscript.com/welcome/maximalbeing to receive your 15% discount on customized supplements and check Maximal Being standardized protocols for gut health. FullScript has been a game changer for my practice, and I know it will be for yours. Don't miss out on this incredible resource for functional medicine practitioners and patients alike today.
So we can do detox tea, new brain cells growth, and what's the other one I said? Cam-free.
I don't. So
these are just just so you know, I'm sorry, I probably should have said this for the first time listeners. These are videos. We don't know what's on these videos. Our editor just kind of gives these very broad, loose names to know what it's broadly related to. Okay. But that way we can just it's kind of like picking something out of the hat. So just whatever you like the sound of.
I
Chris,
think
really.
let's go with detox T, even though I'm very skewed on what I'm thinking this is going to be. But you know, we'll be open going into this.
I'll tell you, there are some videos that we've reviewed that I tell you, just there's no way to have prepared to what we saw. You know, shout out Boner Juice for those who listened to that episode.
That one was, or
All
the guys. He was trying. He gave it to his mom, and there's like a picture of his mom and somebody that's clearly not his mom that looks better.
Yeah,
because of some juice. Yeah, that was
some
good.
juice cleanse. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, so this is detox tea.
This is a quick and easy lung detox tea. 1 cup will make you cough all the mucus out of your lungs. It's mullein, pine bark, elderberry, and ginseng. Cigarettes, vapes, air pollution, all that gets stuck in your lung mucus, and this is a good way to knock it out. You can also get the same ingredients from CVS or Walgreens. This lung supplement also has mullein, elderberry, pine bark, and ginseng. Works just like the tea. Gets in your stomach, gets to your bloodstream, gets to your lungs, knocks all the gunk out. Just take a double dose your first day.
So my first thought is that really in CVS, or did he just put 2 bottles there and then go pick it up off of the counter? Like I think that's, I don't think CVS is advertising a lung detox.
Yeah.
So you're sticky, like we know medicines can, you know, affect mucus, like that's a reality. And so there probably are herbs and things out there that can do that. But my first thought is like you're consuming a tea and then it's, you know, causing your lungs to spit up the mucus. You know, those are more complex biochemical processes than probably that guy understands and invented.
Yeah, and I will also say that like expiration is a key way that we are able to detoxify our bodies as human beings, right? How do we eliminate one of the main toxins, carbon dioxide? It's through expiration.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's probably a mucolytic is like a better way to term it. It probably makes you cough a lot because it's got things like ginseng in it. But man, rebrand that, dude. Just call it a natural mucolytic.
Yeah. And mucus, I don't know. And also, you know, I'm jaded, you know. So I just like detox is like all the bad stuff we like. It's as if like when you smoke cigarettes, the smoke is sitting in your lungs and just waiting for a way to get out. Like, no, the damage is there. You know, like this isn't gonna undo the pack he chain smoked earlier this afternoon. So
all those reactive oxygen species that can be bound up by C60, right, Chris?
Yeah, exactly. And
Chris,
in
where
fact,
can people?
Let's jump into that because just real quick, I don't want to drag it out too long, but it is a theory we have about the molecule that didn't that we really didn't have in place last time we met. We call it the BOSS theory, buffering oxidative stress system. We know that this molecule, right, ESS60, can get into the mitochondria. We've got peer-reviewed published research that shows that. We know that the molecule can hold up to 6 negatively charged particles, and you know, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of every cell. That's, you know, a lot more complex. Actually, I'm having an interview with a mitochondrial expert tomorrow. So, you know, we could get back together and I could share my mitochondrial information. But as with any energy source, there are negative byproducts. In the case of the mitochondria, it's these reactive oxygen species, like you just mentioned, Doc Mock. And the reality is your mitochondria has resident glutathione and melatonin to manage those reactive oxygen species. We also know that our body can get overwhelmed, different parts of our body can get overwhelmed. And so if that glutathione or melatonin gets overwhelmed, then there's reactive oxygen species running around doing damage. The theory is that this is in the mitochondria, can hold up to 6 of those negatively charged particles. So it acts like a paddy wagon. Think about Mardi Gras, Bourbon Street, Mardi Gras just ended. You've got these drunk reactive oxygen species running around, breaking windows and smashing cars. You've got the police, the glutathione and melatonin handcuffing themselves to these reactive oxygen species and getting them out of the body. But when they're overwhelmed, they just stick them in the paddy wagon. That's attached to, not in, but attached to this ESS60 molecule. So then when your mitochondria can replenish the glutathione or the melatonin, then it can grab those reactive oxygen species off of the ESS60 molecule and then get them out of the system. And that's the current theory, and is like the best description that we have currently that helps explain why we have head to toe improvements in, systemic improvements across all sorts of body symptoms for our product.
Love the analogy.
Yeah, that's great.
You got to throw Bourbon Street in there.
Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Gets the people going.
So where can people find you, Chris, if they're looking for you?
So let me share one thing about the book. I'm really excited. I've got a charity aspect to the book. So if you go to our website, you can find it on Amazon. You can go to our website, and the link for our website, we've got a link for your audience, which is myvitalc.com/maximal being. The book isn't on that first page, but if you go to the menu structure, you can find the book. It's $20. If you want it signed by me, and I've got a co-author, and that's a whole amazing story, it's $10 if I sign it, $15 if we both sign it. 100% of the signature fee goes to Operation Underground Railroad. That is, you may remember the movie The Sound of Freedom recently about child sex trafficking. The subject we obviously want to get rid of. I saw him speak. That movie's moving. And so 100% of the signature fee goes to Operation Underground Railroad. Really excited about that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you. And then we mentioned myvitalc.com/maximal being. I think I shared this last time. If you're interested in trying it, great. You can get an individual bottle, or you can get it on subscription. Subscription saves you like 25%. Even if you just want one bottle, take advantage of that. We're happy to, you can call and cancel at any time. Our customer service team has about 850 5-star reviews on Google, so they're not trained to talk you out of canceling it. There is a coupon code. It's called Maximal Being, and that'll get them an additional $15 off their initial order.
Awesome.
Wow. Very generous. Thank you for that,
Chris. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send both of you lucky winners some more products.
Wow.
No way.
I was late to the game. I was gonna say I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't read the instructions on the one, so I was definitely drinking the one that had like the olive oil. I don't know those, but it doesn't matter. It was all good. I liked it. So yeah, it felt great. Awesome.
Wow. I just thought we were getting your knowledge today, but we also, what a bonus.
That's not enough.
Yeah. You want to take us out, Jacky P?
Yeah. Well, everyone, we've been talking with Chris with MyVitalC, talking about some amazing new developments. Of course, Doc Mock, that big old beautiful brain of yours. I'm always excited to see it work. I'm Jacky P, your favorite layman. And please subscribe, reach out to us if you want us to answer any questions, listening mail, all that fun stuff. And look up for MyVitalC. And we're here to maximize your being. Stay well.
The content included is not intended to be used as medical advice, and viewers should consult their physician or healthcare provider should they have additional questions. The viewers should not rely on information contained in these presentations for immediate or urgent medical needs. Additionally, if you think you have a medical emergency, call your physician or go to the emergency department or call 911 immediately. Never disregard professional medical advice or rely on seeking medical care or delay medical care due to information contained in this presentation. What's going on, Maximal Beings? Doc Mock here. If you haven't done so already, leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button. Let your friends and family know. That way we can get the word out and continue to bash the bro science.